Oh, okay.
I'm gonna make you eat. Are you hungry? Hey everybody, good Tuesday morning. I hope everybody's having a fabulous day. I'm solo again, so that means that Larry is still not feeling his best. Quick update. So his ear infection is beginning to clear up. However, it has traveled into his chest and it's nasty. So our prayer warriors, keep them in your prayers. Continue to, because I know you guys do anyway, and I think y'all are the best. So thank you. Can you guys hear me okay? Is everybody doing good? Let's just go ahead and say hello to those who are here with us right now. So good morning, Ryan. I am well, thank you. One choice will catapult you. Praying for you. I always need prayers. Don't we all? Don't we all always need prayer? I firmly believe that. Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate you. Shell Bell, hello. You remember that song, Michelle? I don't remember the name of the song, but it was like hip hop or something back in the 80s. Michelle, my belle. Every time I see your name, it reminds me of that. And I keep thinking I need to go and listen to that song so I can remember what it is. V. Osborne, hey, how you doing? And Maureen, good morning. I'm sat in a dentist's office while my son gets his wisdom teeth out. I hope he has a speedy recovery. He's young, so more than likely he will. I remember I had my wisdom teeth out. I was 16 maybe, and it was on a Friday. So every Friday and or Saturday, I used to go to the roller dome and go roller skating. And I had my wisdom teeth removed, cut out. I think they were already growing. I can't recall. But I remember going skating, begging my mom so that I could go skating that night. And yeah, I was fine. Easy peasy. Now, if they had to remove them, oh my gosh, I'd be down for hours. But that youth, something about that youth. Good morning, Cindy. Hope everyone is doing well and staying strong. I agree. Hey, Terry. Hey, y'all. Hope you're doing good. Aaron, hello. I hope you're well. And then we got Pam. Pamela says, good morning. Here to support daily. Hope all are well. You're awesome. You rock. And for that, I'm going to give you one of these.
Can you dig it?
You the best. All right. Thanks for all of that. Okay. And yeah, Maureen, oh, poor Larry. Yeah, he's suffering hardcore. Cowgirl, good morning. Awesome. Thank you, John. Hear you loud and clear. Good morning. Tammy, praying for you both. Appreciate that. Again, always in need of prayer. We all are, always. And more prayer. Wow. We're so blessed. Thank you, Sue. Bex, good morning. Good morning, Bex. I don't think I've seen that name before. Welcome. I'm glad to see new names or faces, however you want to put it. So I'm glad to see you here. Good morning. Welcome to the live. Erica, good morning. Good morning. Mary has to say, morning, Cassie and all. So far, still doing really good in the alternate day fasting challenge. Eating chuck steak and 3 all beef with wieners while watching. And 3 all beef. Wieners? Hot dogs? Hot dogs. That's what I'm getting from that. Or sausages. Sausage. Papa Frank says, wow, Cassie's back. Love you, girl. Missing Larry. Hope he's better soon. And you both come on the morning live together. I'm day 2. Beef only for a week. Good for you and good luck with that. It'll change your life. Alfie boys in the house. We were worried about you, Alfie. A lot of people were asking for you. You know, one day of absence can really put people in a bit of a frenzy. So I'm so glad to see you. Alfie boy has to say, hey, y'all. Me and my mom went off the rails for 4 days. I think that's what they were worried about. Eating all the bad stuff, drinking beers in just 4 days. I gained back 20 pounds. Wow. Back on carnivore now. It's not worth it. Nobody's perfect. Heck, no. There was only one who was perfect, and he was crucified for that. But nobody else even comes close to that. No, we are very flawed. And I put out on Instagram, we're going to make a reel out of it so you guys can watch it here on YouTube. Just that little short about the turtles, comparing the turtles with the journey. I might spice it up a little bit for YouTube, but yeah, I'm glad to see you're here. Welcome, and welcome back, Alfie. So glad you're here. You and me, bud. You, me, and so many others. We struggle, right? Nobody is perfect. Tori Lee, good morning. And Kathy says, good morning, Cassie. I will continue to pray for Larry. Thank you. Much appreciated. You lurk. You're a lurker. Well, hey, we love lurkers too. So I'm glad you're here, though. I am really glad you're here. John, I think we call them wisdom teeth because when they come in, you gain the wisdom of why babies cry when teething, right? Our little Charlotte, I believe she's in that initial stage of teething, and you can just tell, I'm like, any day now, she's really going to start cutting them. She's getting a little crabby, and she's a very happy, sweet baby. And, well, aren't they all? Aren't they all just sweet and lovely and the most adorable and cuddly? They all are. We love babies. Debbie. Hello, Cassie and CQC. Good morning to you. Oh, Aaron, brother, I am in the same boat. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. So Aaron says, I feel like I've been sabotaging myself for weeks. Little slip-ups add up. No one else to blame. That's a fact. There is nobody else to blame, but do we really need to take the brunt of all that? I mean, I know that we're responsible for our own actions, right? If we were, let's say, go out and nobody's going to do that here. Okay, we're driving and we are so tired we happen to fall asleep at the wheel. Now that's a terrible analogy. Just scratch that one. Just forget what I was going to say. You're right. Nobody else is to blame, but it is an uphill battle. You know that. I know that. So many others know that. So it's not easy. I'll talk a little bit about what I've been up to. There's so many in here of you that are so strong, and I really wish that I had your strength, or I wish I had my strength from last year. I know what happened and I don't know what happened. And I was thinking about this morning. I'm like, why am I having such a difficult time? September happened, right? Got by it. Helene, I forgot all about Helene nailing us. Was it the first week of October? And we lost power. Now, we weren't completely out of power. We had a generator, which we were so blessed. We were inconvenienced. And I think back to so many others who lost everything. We just lost our power and we were just inconvenienced. And I was still able to cook. First day I grilled, we stayed on track, right? We did good throughout that extremely stressful time. So had that meal September 14th, that's our anniversary. And then less than a month later, yeah, it was only a few weeks later, then Helene hit. So we had that little slip up and we did good, right? And then it was just the slow snowball. I did good all throughout, the rest of the fall, with the exception of eating more like dairy and carnivore treats, making a lot of the recipes, things like that. But then that was it. And I don't know. I've been struggling ever since. I'm having a real hard time getting back on board here. I'm a lot like you guys. So there's no need to try and conceal it or hide it. This is real life. This happens to so many of us addicts. We're addicts. And I'm not just going to say we're food addicts, because there's drug addicts, alcoholics, people who are addicted to so many other things. We're still in that category. An addict is an addict is an addict. However, we have the disadvantage because it's food. You don't need alcohol to survive. You don't need drugs to survive. You need food. And with so many choices, I think we're overwhelmed, and we're just trying to figure out how to turn off that noise. It's definitely a mental thing. Alfie, thanks for worrying about me. I feel a lot of shame, but I'm just glad it wasn't months of binging this time. Yeah, that shame, that's another thing too. You know, I think the shame should only fall on that we let ourselves down. Not that we let anybody else down. Not that we're ashamed of what we did, you know, whether it's binge eating in the closet or in the bathroom or going back in the trash when you're like, no, I'm not going to eat that. And going back to get that. You know, the shame only falls on us, and it should only be for us. And maybe that negative feeling, that negative emotion that we're experiencing at the time, maybe that's what we really need to hold on to, because that's not a fun place to be. And it's not good. It's not good. So just feel the shame for yourself, but give yourself some grace, and let's just keep moving forward. You're right. It wasn't months of binging, but I just want you to be aware, coming from somebody from experience. I don't know if this is your first go around, your second, your third. Dude, I've been doing it for years, and having a stretch of almost 2 years. Yeah, probably close to that. Almost 2 years of clean carnivore. I think I had that one binge session that was during that time. It was right after, it was during my high school reunion. I put a video out talking about that. So for those of you who haven't seen it, you'll see me on the picture. You got to go back a little bit, but it's got, you know, the skyline of Chicago in the background, and, you know, talking about alcohol, and your defenses are lowered. You take in any type of substance, whether it be alcohol or drugs or whatever, anything that's going to really alter your mind, your shields are lowered. So it's easy to do. Anyway, yeah, I had that slip up that weekend, and I was fine after that. And then, but the struggle, we're talking about the struggle. And then I had a great run after that. It was amazing. I lost a ton of weight. I felt great, you know, challenged myself to step it up. You know, I did Lion, I did dairy-free, caffeine-free, and of course, going back to everything at some point or another, and for some time frame or another. Yeah, you just stay strong, and just be aware that you might think you're solid for a week, and those cravings can hit you. For me, it's like 2 to 3 weeks, and then I feel rock solid, and I haven't hit that. I just find myself going downward the longer I'm in this headspace. I don't do as great. When I abstain, it doesn't last nearly as long. So it's like I stumble, I trip, get back up. Stumble, trip, you know, I'm good for a couple days or a week. Stumble, trip, fall. I have great results. And it's just rinse and repeat. It's same old, same old. So just be aware, you know, you got to be strong. How bad do you want it, Alfie? What are you fighting for? You know, health, longevity. You're fighting for mental health, you know, mental clarity, brain fog, and just to lift yourself up out of that depression. You seem like a pretty happy guy. Yeah. And Aaron has to say, I have slipped up so many times over the years, but we learn and move on. Agreed. We learn and move on, and accept what you did and forgive yourself. If God forgives us, why can't we forgive ourselves, right? We're harder on ourselves than anybody else, and we've already been forgiven, and we're already loved. So what would Jesus do? WWJD, right? I think that's something that we could all maybe start wearing those bands again, right? Excuse me. Tammy says, today is eating day for alternate day fasting. You're rocking it, Tammy. Keep it up. What's for dinner? Here in Middle Tennessee, I'm smoking a pork butt. Can't wait for dinner. That sounds good. I've got some chicken thighs braising in the oven right now because it's not 95 degrees. It's a nice, easy breezy, cool, like 75. I know as soon as that cloud coverage goes away, it's going to get hot again. John, I gained like 7 pounds on my birthday Sunday. I had a few extra carbs, more keto than carnivore, back on track again. Yeah. There's a balance. We got to find it. So your balance isn't mine and mine isn't yours. You know, we all do things a little bit differently. So you got to do what works for you. Like I always say, you take what you need and leave the rest from everybody. Just because so-and-so did it and so-and-so is on fire and they've been on fire and they went through it with one fell swoop, you're not them. So we have to dial in our best course of action for us. Good morning, Cal. How are you? and smiling for you. I noticed that when I do snack or overeat or have an extra meal, but with the right foods, that I'm still reaping the benefits of eating carnivore. And for me, that's quality dairy. Yeah, I agree with you. Like, even when I was binge eating, like just before Charlotte was born, so I noticed it was like, I had that little slip at work, started eating some carby stuff, we had a potluck, and I brought the heavenly eggs, carnivore heavenly eggs, and they were a big hit. Everybody loved them. They were loaded, cheddar, some chives, and some bacon. They were amazing. And I brought, what else did I bring? There was something else that I brought. I can't recall off the top of my head. Oh, nuts. I brought some nuts, some mixed nuts. And I thought, okay, so that's good. We're going to do this. And then I'm like, there's a little bit of ham. It had a lot of that honey glaze on it, or brown sugar or whatever. Oh, well, I tried a bite of what was on my friend's plate. No, that's really good. Well, it was carby. I'll just have one. And then I went back for another and another. And that's how the day played out. And it was off and on, struggling a little bit. But then I leaned on the dairy, the desserts, the treats, the chaffles, things like that. I had a lot of chaffles. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, so with the exception of the off-meal plans, or off-plan meals, foods, with the exception of that, I would lean heavily on the dairy, and I still felt better than I do now. And I certainly didn't gain this kind of weight. I was gaining a little bit, but it's increased pretty quickly. Why is it on carnivore it takes 1 month to lose 12 pounds and 3 days to gain 15 or so pounds? I'm not saying by overeating or lots of junk food, just not strict carnivore. Yeah, again, it's individual. A lot of people can handle the dairy better than others. People can handle seasoning better than others. I think, the inflammation, and especially age, right? I've noticed my inflammation skyrockets. Like, I've never experienced this before until getting into the proper human diet spectrum, right? And if I do go off, then that's what happens. Yeah, 3 days, 15 pounds. Maybe not that extreme for me, but it definitely does happen. Good morning, Gidget. I hope you're doing well. And I mean, like, really well. I hope your diet's going good for you. I know you're struggling there, but we all are, When you go, ooh. Thank you, Aaron. I appreciate that. Aaron, just Alfie's replying to Aaron. I'm going to read it. It says, it's great to not feel shame for it. I think doing BBBE and OMAD and alternate day fasting was just too much for me too quick. Yeah, for sure. My last great run, I'm just going to say it that way. My last great run of carnivore, I came off of, it wasn't even clean. It was dirty Ketovore, which was intended to be clean, whole foods. And then it turned into dirty keto. And it was not good. I was using all the artificial sweeteners, and like, I would make packs of sugar-free Jell-O and pour heavy cream on top. But I'd eat 2 boxes of those. That's like 8 servings, right? There's like at least 4 servings in one of those boxes. I'd make 2, and that's what I would eat. I'd always overdo it. And then I went BBBE, and it sucked. I hated it so much. However, it was the game changer for me, at least back then. And then I just got in this great run, and I felt amazing. Food was fueled. The mindset changed. The energy level changed. My depression, all of it. It was pretty amazing. But here I am again, knowing that I need to be strict, but just, I'm fighting it tooth and nail. I don't understand why. I don't feel shame over it. I'm upset because I've got a lot of cute clothes that I have to donate now, or I can hold on to them. I could do that. And maybe if I just hold on to them and hang them up throughout the house, and, maybe put little Post-it notes on it. 5 pounds to go, 3 inches to go, something along those lines. That's not a bad idea. Tori, It took me 2 years to get back on, but I realized it was the Diet Coke making me have cravings. Once I quit Diet Coke, I was able to stay on strict. Well, good for you. And I'm glad you recognized it. You know, sometimes I think we also like to turn a blind eye, you know, to our triggers. I know I do. Sometimes I don't want to hear it, and I just want to keep doing what I'm doing and hoping that, you know, eventually it's just going to magically flip on its own. No. Speaking my language. I feel like such a failure. Don't feel like a failure. Don't, because then that means I have to. And I don't feel like a failure. I just don't feel super successful. How about that? Why don't we change those words around? You're just not feeling successful. Oh, Maureen. I have been off and on carnivore for 8 years. I'm on day 37 for the 800th time. Right? Yeah, you're definitely our people. And yay, I agree with you. Yay. Sue, I understand all too well. Yep, no doubt. Here we go. And yet another one. Guys, let's not feel the shame. Oh, I'm definitely in my shame boat. The past week and a half or so, I've been cheating. I've been binging, secluding myself, even from this meeting. I hide, but I'm here today. I'm really glad to see you. Cowgirl. I don't ever want you to feel shame, but you can't control that, right? But don't. Do the best for yourself and remain involved, even if you're not feeling optimal about your food choices. Just do it. You know, you're not going to feel condemnation. You're not going to experience that or shame here. We're just going to uplift each other. Yeah, because you know why? We're all pretty much in the same boat. We're all there. People come here every day for the very reason. I'm here for that reason too. I knew for months when I had taken my step back, I'm like, doggone, I've got to get back in Carnivore Quest community, whether it be on Facebook, Instagram, or here on YouTube. And it's like I try, and I'm just like, no. But I knew deep down inside that I needed to be active, be present to help me out. And I'm still not doing great, right? So here's an example, right, of what I was talking about, the stumbling in, and I'm sure that you can all agree. Today is Cody's birthday, our oldest boy. He turned 33. So we have, we're going to go see him today at some point, and we were going to stop and get him a piece of really good cheesecake. Quality stuff, none of that garbage stuff from an Italian restaurant. It's expensive. And we're like, okay, it'd be good. No, what did my dumb butt do yesterday? Well, I happened to be at Costco. Picked up a bunch of carnivore stuff, right? And I'm thinking, well, you know, maybe I can make this for Cody. It's not chocolate or anything like that. So I picked up a pound cake and berries and some heavy whipping cream. I'm going to make whipped cream, some berries, and, you know, just toss it in there. I mashed up the berries. I haven't assembled it yet, but it's still there. It's waiting. Well, you know, in spite of me doing really well, and my mistake was, I think, going to the store hungry. I was hungry. By the time I get home, I put everything away. So 95% of everything that 95, because I bought some coffee too. I bought coffee beans. That's not carnivore, right? Okay, whatever. I got mostly meat products and low carb. How about proper human diet approved foods? But not that pound cake. Not that pound cake. So I'm sitting here looking at it, and this thing's enormous, right? It's got to be like this big. I decided, I'm trying to think how I could have some of that before his birthday. Boy, oh boy, I found a way. This was last night after it being like day 3 for me again. And I gotta tell you, I didn't want to come on here and fess up to that. I didn't want to. My daughter, Holly, she is on carnivore and she's doing great. I'm thinking, you know, for so many months she wasn't, and I tried encouraging her to do so, and now she's the one encouraging me. So I don't know. I don't know what the point of that was. It's just that I feel your pain and it's hard and you feel shame and you don't want to show up, but just show up. What do they say in AA? Keep coming back. Just throw spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks. Not every piece is going to stick. When you go off track, even a little, it takes days or weeks to eliminate the increased hunger and cravings. Yes, the increased hunger. Isn't it crazy how much you eat when you're not eating meat? Or how hungry you are. I'm still feeling it from Sunday. All I had was keto tortillas and some fake crab meat. Wow. Yeah. There we go. You're not failing if you're not quitting. You only fail if you completely quit. Make sure you're not making too many changes at once. I think this is directed toward Alfie, and I agree. Get one thing dialed in at a time, then add to it, for sure. For sure. Yay, cowgirl. Yeah, we're all happy that you're here. Yep, see? What'd I tell you? Even Maureen seems to think so. Awesome. Hi, Majestical RB. Good morning. Just seen this video, and I just started carnivore 2 weeks ago again. I am 58, and my first week I lost 10 pounds. I was so happy now, but I'm stuck. I need to lose over 100. Oh, I should probably pull that up and just instead of just reading it. Right there with you. I don't have the 100 to lose, but I've got probably about 50 to get back to where I was. And then an additional maybe 20. So I'm right around the 70 pound mark. And we start over and start over and start over. There's got to be something to it. It's the only diet that I return to, you know. And Majestical, when I say diet, it's not protocol. It is just your food and liquid intake diet. Everything, whatever you eat every day, everything you eat, everything you put into your body through your mouth is your diet. So that's what I talk about. So I'm talking about the carnivore diet. Yeah. And I'm in the same boat with you. I lost 10 pounds right off the bat, right off rip. I lost 10 pounds it was 11 within the first week. And I decided with my daughter for us to be supportive to each other. We weigh in on Monday. So yesterday I put on 1 pound from the previous week, which was an 11-pound weight loss. And that was all water weight. And then, yeah, you get stuck. But there's going to be a breakthrough. Just hang in there. Just subbed. Awesome. Welcome aboard. Okay, let's see. I'm just going to move along here. It's not going to be as long as a live stream as yesterday. But, yeah, I've got that chicken in the oven. Let's see. So I'm going to get to a couple good things. Yeah, Tish. Thanks for being honest, everyone. We all need healing. Yeah. I mean, why be anything other than honest? Why be anything other than authentic? Wow, Greg, it's so good to see you. Long time no see. Greg's amazing dude. Checking in from Thailand. I hope everything's good with you. It's good to see you. Good to see a familiar face. Another familiar face. I have grandkids and daughter living with us, and I told them to keep their snacks out of my sight because now I'm 4 days without no soda and no coffee. Good for you. I never felt better when I was coffee and dairy free. Together. I did those together. Never felt better in my life. But also I was very strict on my diet. That was something that I'd eased into, and I did try it a handful of times. I made it 3 months one time and like 2 another, and I felt great. Is that the one? Yeah, that was funny. Good morning, Alan. Lunch break. What you having for lunch, lady? Yeah, it is all water weight. And when you gain really fast, carbohydrates. Oh, John, look at that. You figured that one out. I wouldn't even seen that one. That's awesome. I think you addressed this before, but have you ever thought of doing a cookbook that can cover both keto and carnivore? You made me hungry talking about your fully loaded eggs. I get asked that question an awful lot. And the answer is, I really don't think I want to. I'm going to take a screenshot. I've got this running on my phone because this is one of those. I think about it, but I just think it's going to be a lot of work. And you guys have access to all of my recipes. You don't have to pay a penny for them. Just watch the video. Half the time I put the directions in the link, or at least the ingredients. It's not like baking. Cooking is much different from baking. And I love that. You get to play around with it. There's no perfect ratio because it's like, take the eggs, for example, right? Some yolks are going to be larger than others. So a cup of, or let's say a quarter cup of bacon grease, it might be too much. You might only need 1/8 of a cup. You know what I'm saying? You got to play around with it. Same with a chuck roast. 3 hours might be great for one roast. Another roast might need 3.5, 4 hours. So, but no, you've got a whole playlist on our channel, and you could take screenshots and then print it out and make a cookbook. And here's a good picture to put on the cookbook. Take a screenshot of that. And then you can print that out and put it out. Now, I probably will not do a cookbook, but I appreciate it. I get that asked an awful lot. I'm just a home cook. I like good flavor. And I learned a lot working at the butcher shop. I learned so much. So about flavors and cuts of meat and cooking cuts of meat. I used to not burn, but all my steaks used to be well done. I didn't know anything about temp. I'm just like, yeah, throw it on the grill. When it's got good grill marks, it's good to go, Yeah, but, thank you, Tori. I really appreciate that. And that's for me. We were talking about shame, and that's a part of it, like this whole shame thing is, I kind of do feel shameful because I'm bigger than I was. And I know that there's a lot that people can take from that. What you can take from it is I was on top of the world one day and then the next, not so much. So take from that is to never let your guard down. Never stray off plan. Never think that, hey, I've got this. Because if you've been overweight, you've been an addict for years or decades, it's not going to go away in a few months or a few years. I am at the point where at least I get back on the horse every day and I do fight. So, that's the one takeaway. Like I said, that from the carnivore diet is that it is a change of mindset. I start thinking about this way of eating as strict and more of, I get to eat all this awesome meat and some low carb veggies and seasoning. You're for sure. For sure. Awesome, Cal. Welcome back. I'm going to tell you what, I think maybe what we should do, and I would love for this to be like a members only type situation where we can pull people up on the screen. And I guess there is a way to do that. And maybe like once a week I'll do that. And it doesn't necessarily have to be for members only. I'll bring a few people up on screen. And this is something that we can talk about, the encouragement and back to day one. And maybe, just maybe, I need to get back in the Facebook group, guys. I have limited time and I just don't want my face in my phone all day, That was a big reason for stepping away. It was constant. I was on my phone, answering questions, giving advice, answering emails, all 3 platforms. And I'm like, it was overkill for me. It was. Oh man, Nancy, absolutely. Cassie, I did the same. Was doing good till I bought ice cream for the grandkids. Or so I told myself. Right? So do you think subconsciously you're like, yeah, let me get this for the grandkids? Just like with me. I had choices. I had options. We were going to go and buy one single piece of cheesecake. And I'm like, no, this way we can feed everybody, right? Everybody can have a little bit of a treat. And this is coming from a woman who 2 years ago said, I'm never making anything. I'm never buying anything other than carnivore or keto treats for my family. I felt that strongly about it. Here we are today. So this was a very humbling experience for me this time around. And the struggle really. So, but you're giving yourself grace. And today, giving myself grace today, but back on. Good. I'm glad you're back. Yeah. Ooh, chicken with bacon. There you go. Okay, that's all right, Alfie. Good for you. Says really appreciate your encouragement and sharing your personal struggles. I think that's the one thing that I have to offer. I was about 90% of the way to my success, to my goal, right? And then boom, that was it. Here we are today. So one thing, don't learn from my struggles. Learn from that. There's no such thing as one bite, because if we could do that, we would have always done that, right? Or just one piece of pizza. We would have always done that. Nope. Not this group, not us. We're not like everybody else. We are all kind of in our own little bubble. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. We are just stronger warriors for it. Right?
You warriors are good. Real good. You warriors are good. Real good.
The best. And that is a fact. We are warriors. And I think that's maybe, I think that's what makes us better than everybody else. Why? Because we get up and we fight every single day. We are all authentic and we're true. We're true to ourselves and we're true about the real struggles. I mean, why wouldn't we talk about this, Oh, nice. Good. Awesome, Shell. Isn't that awesome? Yeah, like with my daughter, I'm going tomorrow. So I'm not going to be in the live. I'm hoping Larry is going to be well enough to do a live. There may not be one tomorrow because I'm going to my daughter's and I'm spending the night. Our little Charlotte turns 6 months tomorrow. The day after. And I'm spending time with them because I was sick last week and I couldn't go near them. So, yep. So I'm glad. Anyway, the mother-daughter support and connection, I think it's so important. I tell Holly, I don't keep it from her. I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't do so good. She's like, Mom, okay, we'll get back on it. We're going to do this. But she's doing amazing. She's doing so good. I'm so proud of her. I was so worried for her, because she gave herself the green light when she got pregnant, basically to eat whatever she wanted. And of course, I'm in a great groove at this time and my heart's hurting for her. I'm like, Holly, please, you're going to regret that, because I did with my daughter. I gained weight with Holly, but I really gained a lot of weight with little Larry. And a lot of that was stress too. I mean, we got pregnant just months after Larry's mom was murdered. And it doesn't matter. I didn't know anything about nutrition, or I didn't care. I did not care. My mindset was, I'm just going to lose the weight, after he's born. Yeah, right. I'm still carrying that baby weight around, even from my daughter, and she's 30. 31. She's 31. Oh, I need an intervention. Isn't that the truth? I think we all do. I really do. But how? I mean, I don't know. It's pretty sad, isn't it? What's Terry been up to? I've been alternating protein sparing and full fat meals lately. I need to see that scale move. Yeah. Hey, we got to play around, because if that scale isn't moving, we have to play around and eliminate some things or add some things, maybe add fat or add more protein or reduce the fat, definitely reduce the dairy or completely eliminate it. Oh, yes, Papa Frank. I'll tell you what, I think I did the best. And I had the best conversations with my customers because I was all about meat and I was very happy to talk about them with that. Awesome. I bet you bring home like a lot of scraps and you're going to, if you already didn't have the knowledge, you're going to learn a lot more. Yeah, there we go, Tammy. I'm with you. 56, and I have about 50 to 70 pounds to lose. I'm down 43 since December 28th of 2024. Tammy, wow, that's amazing. You're having a great run. I hope you're happy about that. 43 pounds is no joke. Just keep plugging away. Ellen's lunch. Lunch was leftover chicken thighs. Carnivore leftovers are the best. Yep. Oh, Melissa, day one again. Okay, so what are we going to do about this, guys? What are we going to do about this? Let's brainstorm. There's got to be something better for myself. When is the next members only? That's a good question. I'll tell you what, I'm thinking, depending on how Larry's feeling, how about if I do a members only on Thursday evening? Because that way I'll be back from my daughters and we can do it, say around 6 or so. Don't hold me to it because I do need an assistant, but I pretty much plan out my days day to day because it's just, it's kind of goofy. Yeah, we've got to keep each other accountable. There's got to be something. There's got to be something that we can do. I'm kind of been in talks. Yeah, right. I fully blame COVID. I've been in talks with somebody and the protocol or we're really not going to meet up until next month. And I'd like to see how this goes because I think that we need a little something extra. And I think, there are some people who get it and have the mindset that I had. And I'm sure that many of you have had. I'm never going back. Who else has said that? I'm never going back to that way of eating. Never going to do it. I feel too good. I'll never go. Me for sure. And was even, somewhat dogmatic about it. Not to where I was bashing people, but just thinking, don't even eat an apple. Easy on the seasonings. Be careful with the seasonings. Buying the best quality ingredients. I would turn my nose up at a lot of products, at a lot of things. But anyway, to be here. So it's like, all right, there's something up here. Obvious. It's your the tongue brain connection. And there's got to be a way that we can tap into that and beat this thing, because I know none of us are happy doing this. And everybody who doesn't love food, why is it that we just can't control it? I think that's the next course is learning to control it. I know, Tammy, I had plans for this fall in my head. A handful of times there were some things that I wanted to do. But this fall, I wanted so many of us to meet up at the Ark encounter in Kentucky. I kind of mentioned it in my group, even somewhat. Somebody is a travel agent, and I'm like, yeah, I'll be reaching out to you. And then everything happened with Charlotte, and then I fell off the rails. And so a spring meetup would probably be a little bit better, considering I've used up pretty much all my PTO is spoken for or used. So I don't have any extra time off. And right now, being that I'm in transition with my job, I'm not exactly sure what my days off are going to be, so I think we could do a spring meetup. I really do. I prefer fall, but I think we could still do a spring meetup, especially for those in the north. We'll meet like halfway. Nobody needs to come down to South Carolina. I'm thinking Tennessee, Kentucky area, because that's where the Ark encounter is. And we don't have to stick with that, but I think that's a pretty good meeting point, halfway point between us and folks who are in the Midwest, Chicago, Indiana, Ohio. But yeah, well, let's see what happens. I think that would be great. Yes, you're right about that. And even if you do, okay, they're still not going to take you seriously. People are very comfortable with what they've been taught all their lives. And just because you've been taught it doesn't make it truth, doesn't make it gospel, right? You know, when I had lost almost 100 pounds, you know, there were still people who they still did their thing, and, you know, I don't know. I'm glad you're finding value. I can't say that enough times, and that's just something that's popped in my head. It's not just some cliche phrase that I'm using. I'm glad you're finding support. He says, this group is great for me. I wish I'd had half the support at home that I get here. Well, thank you for not giving up on the channel. You're very welcome with that. You know, because after I fell out and like I said, the biggest reason we started this channel was because, I mean, Larry was severely overweight and very unhealthy, but, you know, after getting that cancer and not being able to control what I put in my mouth with every other thing that I tried, you know, it didn't work out for me. So I'm glad you find value with us. Okay, good. Good to know. Yeah, I think I'd like to get this done. Yeah, and you're absolutely right. You know, Papa Frank, this isn't my gig. Then this is kind of transitions into what I was talking about. You know, this was just for accountability. It wasn't about becoming YouTube superstars, you know, massive influencers. Some of the paid sponsorships were really nice. I'm not going to lie about that. And for something that I already use, if it's something that I believe in and I like, then yeah, I'll put my name on it. I don't care. You know, I'm good with that. But this, you know, it is about balance, and having a grandchild here, you know, that changed everything for me. Gretchen, hey, how are you? Welcome, welcome. I got about another... I'm sorry. I get into these comments. I read the screen and then I lose my my train of thought. But I'm glad you're here, Gretchen. Welcome. Yeah. Yeah, we could. But here's the thing with the coaches and these groups. I mean, this is a group, right? And we talk about, now, not at this very moment, but if you go back a few months where my head was, you know, I had all the great tips. And I spoke with other influencers who have had great success. And we had all the tips and advice. There's nothing that Kelly or Bella or anybody, even Lily Kane, because I had Lily Kane on, right? And she gave me a coaching session, right? There's nothing that they can tell me that I don't already know, or things that I've been wanting to try and I just haven't. There's nothing that they can tell me if I don't do it. They can tell me all day long till they're blue in the face, give me the stats, give me the data, and show me pictures of everybody else who's been successful. But if I am not 100% committed, if I'm not in it, if I'm not on board, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That's just like these groups, right? I can sit here and speak all day long about what my course of action is going to be. But if I'm not going to put it into action, if I'm not going to adhere to it, then it doesn't matter what I say. So it's all up here. And that a lot of people have found great success with Kelly and their groups. You know, they're a little more positive. They're not talking about what their downfalls are. They're talking about what they're doing or what they could do or what they should do. I've been down that road, right? So I don't feel the need to join anybody's group, but you know, if you do, I wish you great success. Just make sure that you're ready up here before you start coughing up cash. Oh, Shellbell, I am right here in Kentucky. Wouldn't that be awesome? Our meetup that we had a few years ago, in Greenville, well, just outside of Greenville, it was at Paris Mountain State Park, and it was a great meetup. What did we have? Like 50 people, 50 people. And it was just great. We had some other influencers. Kip was there, Intentional, Sean White, a few others who still have channels, but I really don't think they've stuck with it. So faith over freedom, freedom over, gosh, and I'm so sorry, Joyce. It's Joyce Butler. She has a channel, and there were some others, but it was, my point is, it was a great meetup, and I thoroughly enjoyed cooking for everybody and meeting everybody. It was awesome. Yeah. I am behind, but yes. Hey, Bella. Yes, 2 members only, Cassie. Yeah. I'll tell you what, I will put out a post because I really don't know what's going to happen between now and Thursday evening. I know it's my daughter and granddaughter time, so I might not even make it in time. So I'm not going to commit to it, but I'll let y'all know either way through a post. So be on the lookout for that. Okay, you guys are talking amongst yourselves. All right, I'm gonna finish up this last comment. There we go. So Tammy, we're talking about meetups and whatnot, and you say I meet locally in a low carb group in person on Monday nights, and we all share our struggles. No fees, just a couple of ladies meeting. We all do things a little different and encourage each other. I love that. That's awesome. That's awesome. I think there's a lot to be said too about an actual physical meeting. You know, maybe start opening up, like local chapters. It's something that we talked about. We were going to do a website, and it was in the mix, and we had everything set up, right? It was pretty much ready to go. All I had to do was some fine tuning. My son-in-law did a great job, and I dropped the ball on that one too. No, there are meetups in New York. Go to Italian Gone Carnivore. I mean, they have meetups fairly regularly. So, and that was going to be part of the website, was organizing meetings and from our community, but it was going to be for everybody, but have people in our community organize meetups. And my thought was, eventually, I'd work part-time and I would be able to travel to and fro to certain meetings within, 100 or 200 mile radius, or maybe even go across the country. And well, Larry too, but this is all in my head. This wasn't even something that I discussed with him. But I thought that would be fun, and it just never came to fruition. Cigar King says, if we all keep falling off, it just makes me wonder if this lifestyle is even sustainable. Like, I'm feeling, what's the point if we always fall off eventually? And you know what? I'm right there with you. I am. I'm like, maybe carnivore isn't the be all end all. However, it does give me the strength to get up and fight, unlike everything else that I've ever tried. And certainly, could I put that down on, I feel like I'm fighting for my life here. I'm fighting for health and longevity. Maybe that's kind of where it is and where my head is, and thinking, okay, well, I can only get that through carnivore or keto. But let's not think like that today. Let's think that carnivore is the only way. Carnivore is a healing diet, and that we can do this. So let's finish it off with that. And, y'all, I'm right there in the same boat. I wish I could be the person who says, hey, I've been on it for 5 years. I've lost all my weight. Let's have coaching sessions. I'm not that person. I'm not. I'm like you all. And we go to people for coaching sessions if that's your thing for that reason. But again, I'm just going to tell you, I'm just going to say it again. It doesn't matter how many coaches or nutritionists we see. If you're not ready for it, it's not going to happen. No matter how many huzzahs and hurrahs you're going to get. So I'm not trying to sound negative here. I'm just being real. And if it sounds negative, I'm sorry. Sometimes the truth hurts. And yes, let's just be positive about it. Let's just go. Let's just go. We're going to do this. But right now I need to go pull my chicken thighs out of the oven before those bones become brittle. I'm bringing that to my daughters tomorrow. We're going to do like It's like a Mexican inspired chicken. So, thanks for showing up, guys. I sure do appreciate it. And I hope that today, for me, it's a better day than yesterday. And I hope it is for you. And if I'm not on the camera on Thursday to give you an update, I'll be in the comments if Larry's feeling well enough. Anyway, I'm going to let you all know how I did today because that cake is still in there. And see if I can abstain and just stick with keto foods. That's the plan for the day. So let's just make a plan one day at a time. One day at a time. So what are we going to do today? What are you going to do today? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to try my damnedest to stay clear of that because I had a bunch of it last night and I did not feel great. So yeah, I am going to go love on that little baby tomorrow. I cannot wait. She's my pumpkin. And yep, chicken and love. We got chicken and love here. Meat and love, y'all. So I think that's a great point too. But right, yeah, we're just, yeah, no cake. Absolutely not. I'm gonna abstain. And I'll tell you what, if I don't. No, I'm going to. There is no if. There's no compromise. So I'm gonna do it. No cake. Today's day one. For the millionth time, it is day one. And yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. So I love y'all. You stay strong today. No cake, no garbage, right? Let's get by today. There are 52 people in here right now. And for those of us who are struggling and you slip and you fall, not today. You do whatever it takes. And I'm going to do whatever it takes too. In the face of adversity. That cake is going to be calling my name all day, but I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. I'm going to go in there and record it right now. Exactly how much cake is there. I'm not going to have one sliver, not one taste. I will have some berries and some whipped cream, and I'm going to steer very clear of that cake because it's terrible how I shove that food in my mouth. Anyway, one day at a time. So let's be true to ourselves today. We're going to do this for ourselves and nobody else. Only you. There's no shame to be felt if you don't make it. Okay? Let's learn from our mistakes. Let's get by today. Okay? So I love you all. We're going to do this. We're getting by today. Okay? And there's so many in here. I just want to say I'm super proud of you all for you staying true to yourself. Y'all are doing the alternate day fasting with Lair. I'm so happy for you guys. Keep it going. Let's keep it going. All right. I love you guys. So be strong, right? We're going to be carny strong today or keto or whatever it is that you do. I don't care. Just be strong. And I love y'all. And I'll be talking with you soon.